Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you once again. My name is Nick on the Atari 2600, and in our retro look back, our stress busting look back, we're having a look now at Frogs and Flies on the Atari 2600. So it's all about frogs on lily pads catching flies. It's 1 to 2 players. I'm the only player here. Now I'm the black frog on the left. If the computer doesn't detect anyone controlling player 2, it takes control of them. Every time you catch a fly, it's 2 points. Now, my score's on the top left, the computer score's on the top right. A game recently come out called Frog Bog on the Intellivision by Mattel Electronics in 1982. Right, and this one come out in 82 as well. So eat more flies than your opponent. How am I doing so far? Well, I've eaten 1 fly, here they come, flickering along. So it's top excitement. Now this is where the real excitement happens. Hang on to your haircuts. We start off in the daytime. It will gradually go to nighttime, and then a firefly will come across, and then they score who's got the highest amount. So at the moment, although it's my first go, I'm thrashing my opponent 10 plays 2. Fire button fires the tongue out the frog, and you must time it to get the flies there. So it doesn't look like it's going to do much of a challenge because it's my first go. I'm already thrashing my opponent. There's 2 modes of play. I think on the other mode of play you control how far your frog jumps, and sometimes he can fall in the water and you have to get him out again. This is the basic play, and I'm playing basic. Now, these reviews aren't about expert gameplay, no siree Bob. They're about seeing how you would have got on your first or second go with them in enough there that you want to play again. Now, this is aimed at very, very, very young people. Would I play it back in the day? Well, maybe once or twice, but cartridges were expensive back then, so I wouldn't have played it. Well, maybe I played it to impress my parents, maybe, but I wouldn't have played it that much. It's very, very basic. It's like an educational game as well. 16 plays 4. It's a tonking as it gradually goes to night time. Now, if you had this game back in the day, let me know. It's all about seeing the wonderful back catalogue of all retro games here. Doesn't stand up today, and I can't even see kids playing it as an app on their phone, but here it is, back in 1982, back in an era where it was just impressive to control something on your TV screen, if in fact you got access to the TV and no one was actually watching any proper television programs. 22 plays 10. I don't think he's going to beat me. Maybe I should have given him a head start. Yes, if you had this one back in the day, then I say, how much time did you spend on it? Let me know. Not a great deal to it, but you know, classic gaming, no real reason to go and play it again. Frog Bog on the Intellivision, Frogs and Flies on the Atari 2600, which we're playing now. Now, if you're liking your retro gaming type stuff, if you're enjoying the channel, if you're doing a binge watch or anything like that, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, because that helps the channel continue. We try and review everything everywhere on the systems we cover, of course. Yeah, big thank you to our post people that subscribed already. If you are a frog leaping from one lily pad to another, then let me know. Looks like this is a pretty good area for free food. I don't know why the flies keep flying across here. Maybe they should pick a different route. Nincompoops. Nincompoop flies. Yes, there's still different types of flies. There's fireflies, night flies, dragonflies, house flies, flies on your trousers. You know, I don't think a frog would like to eat the flies on your trousers here. Might cause him to choke to death. But anyway, let's not worry about that kind of thing. Yes, it's educational, this channel as well. Now, if you want to see other Atari 2600 reviews, maybe a bit more exciting than this game, 4616, I'm not even trying now. Yeah, if you want to see other games, click on my username, that takes you to the channel page. Click on the playlist tab, and Atari 2600 will be there, along with a whole list of other stuff. Now, apart from the Intellivision, I don't think this come out on anything else. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think if it came out on the Spectrum, it wouldn't have taken long to load at all. Look at that jagged lily pad type stuff. You will not get an HD remake of this unless it's within a minigame. So that's the end of the day. 4618. Here comes a firefly, as I told you. Don't set everything on fire. He says it's the end. And that's basically the whole game. That's the whole game, folks. We're not missing anything. There's no mini games here. There's no music. We just got this firefly saying it's the end. 4618. First go. Thrash the thing. Where's the challenge? There isn't one. Back to daytime. Doesn't it seem quite daylight again? Right, so computer's off to a slow start. He's trying to work out if player 2's physically there. Player 2 isn't there. He's decided to do something else. Go around on his BMX or play football somewhere or muck about in the park. And now, so it's me against the computer. Here we go again. 0-0. 0-0. We're in some sort of swamp or lake somewhere. Computer's taking the lead of 2-0. I don't know why you don't get 1 point per fly. You get 2 points. Anyway, 2-0. If you're still here, comment below. This was reviewed as a recommendation. I thought it was going to be a bit like Frogger, you know, because we reviewed a few games on the ZX Spectrum a bit like Frogger. And this one was recommended. I thought that was going to be a bit like it. But no, it's just frogs jumping from one lily pad to another. If you did play this a lot back in the day or played it since, put your highest score in the thingamajig, but you can quickly leave your opponent behind, he says, as his opponent is beating him 8-4. Maybe the computer's getting good this time. So just time it to jump with your tongue and catch these flies. So there we go. So I was 8-4 down, now I've brought it back to 8-10. I seem to be able to win when I want. He wins when he wants, he wins when he wants. Atari 2600, didn't have one. I had a ZX Spectrum, come a couple of years later. Wooden computer. Well, the outer casing was wooden, that's for sure. My first computer, I was a bit late on the scene for this one, but if I'd been 2 or 3 years older, then possibly I might have had this one first. But you know, computers was moving at a hell of a lick. The Atari 2600 games are 8-bit, so are the Commodore 64 and Amstrad CPC and Spectrum, but for some reason the graphics on those last 3 I mentioned seem to be better. These ones always seem to be a bit more jagged. There's no such thing as 4-bit in computer worlds, I don't think, but this seems like 4-bit. Anyway, well, if it was on the Spectrum of Commodore 64, you see it's slightly more refined, despite the 8-bit technology still. Very, very weirdness. I'm sure there's a reason behind that. Right, it's frogs jumping around. This will be my last go, I hope. Let's have a attack of stupidity, and I'll play some more. Channel's all about stress busting. We're relaxing. We don't take ourselves too seriously. There might be bits of the gameplay I'm missing, but I doubt it when it's this basic. How hard would it be to get a kid interested in this now? Virtually impossible. I think you'd have to get one of those top YouTubers to recommend it, like KSI or Logan Paul or PewDiePie. It's going to take more than me to actually get them interested in this. Maybe call it Prime Frogs and Flies. Oh, must play that. That's the cool thing in the playground. Get this on a T-shirt. It's looking more like a magic eye nowadays. I can just about see the picture. Oh, it's 2 frogs on the pads if you squint. I would like some. I'm getting greedy now. I'd like some effects in the background. Maybe the occasional fish come out in the water there. Give it a bit of definition. But it is what it is. A basic game from 1982. 2 players jumping up and down, left and right, catching the most flies. Probably a human player you need to get the most out of this, and then you can put each other off, nudge each other, and while you're drinking your favourite Coca-Cola or indeed Umbongo, waiting for your favourite cartoon to start, which might be the Pink Panther, Wacky Racers, or any of those ones. Put your favourite cartoon below. If it has a frog in it, well, extra special. I'm trying to think of a cartoon with a frog in it now. I can't think of that. I used to like Will o' the Wisp. Do 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 do. Right, 4418. Will o' the Wisp, of course, voiced by Kenneth Williams. Right, the end is the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. So you've pretty much seen all the game, really. Only a complete Wally would have another go on the thing to show you there. But, you know, maybe I should have another go. What do you reckon? There's not much more I can tell you. I'd like an option to be the red frog. I suppose you could plug the joystick into the other port, I guess, and then you'd be the red one, and the computer would join the green one. Right, let's see if I can lose this time. Let's just see if I can lose. Boing. None of us are getting any points. It's getting gradually worse. It's gradually getting worse, nurse. We haven't reviewed all the Atari 2600 games. There's still a few to go, but we've reviewed probably the most famous ones here and there. But yes, there's not much more I can say. Right, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'll keep playing, but I think you've seen all the game really. I'll just jump around like a nincompoop some more. So I hope you liked having a look at that one. You've seen as much as I can pretty much tell you. I can thrash it every time, boinging about. So yes, that was Frogs and Flies on the Atari 2600, otherwise known as Frog Bog on the Intellivision by Mattel Electronics in 1982. Got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro? Then by all means put that in the comment section below. You're always more than welcome. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye. Goodbye. Nincompoop flies. Yes, there's still different types of flies. There's fireflies, night flies, dragonflies, house flies, flies on your trousers.